So two Pacific Island nations meet in the quarterfinal, a match that could be the equivalent of a final in its own right. Fiji versus Samoa. This game's going to be epic. It is a part of the Rugby World Cup Sevens that is taking place in Cape Town. We've already seen a couple performances from Samoa, just the one from Fiji. But in this video, we will be doing our preview of their upcoming match. So during this, we will be breaking down previous results, players to watch, and also at the end, we will try and predict who will be able to take out this quarterfinal. But nonetheless, we will get straight into it. So Samoa, they have actually played 2 games compared to Fiji's 1 game. Like I mentioned, their first match was in the pre-round of 16 up against Uganda. They were able to win it 33 points to 7. And due to that, they moved on to the round of 16. So Uganda, they have proven in recent times that they are a tough side to beat when they are on their A game. Unfortunately for them though, Samoa were the better side. We did see the hat-trick from Steve Onisai. He was everywhere in that matchup. Also Malani Matavao having a nice bit of an impact in that game as well. So then, after winning that, they moved on to the round of 16. And there wasn't an easy game waiting for them. For the round of 16, they had to go up against the USA. And to a lot of people's surprise, they actually scored more points against the USA than they did up against Uganda. They were able to win it 40 points to 12. And from start to finish, the Samoans, they look fired up, ready to rumble. And this time it was Paul Scanlon, Malani Matavao, Va'a Pilomaliko, Steve Onisai was still involved. The whole Samoan side really stepped up to take down the USA, who just couldn't quite get themselves into the contest after Samoa started to run away with it. So those were the 2 games for Samoa. They then found themselves through to this quarterfinal. On the other side of this matchup, we have Fiji. Now, because they were high qualifiers, it meant that they didn't have to go through the pre-round of 16, and instead, they did find themselves straight into the round of 16. It is a weird competition format, though, because all of those sides who qualified for the round of 16 didn't actually get a warm-up game, so you'd have to say in some regards, it was a bit of a disadvantage not getting a bit of a run round first, which is why I do prefer the group format where you play your regular games and then make your way through to a round of 16 or a quarterfinal or something along those lines, rather than jumping straight into the deep end. But for Fiji, they found themselves going head-to-head up against Wales. They were able to win it 29 points to 5. And Wales were the first team to score in that contest. But then Fiji, after regaining their composure, were able to effectively and methodically wear down the Welsh and get themselves that 29 points to 5 win. Now in that game, Kiminali Rasaku, he was doing very nicely for the Flying Fijians. But the stat that I quite enjoy from that game up against Wales is the fact that Fiji scored 5 tries. And of those 5 tries, they have 5 different try scorers, which does mean there are plenty of players in this Fijian side who can cross the try line when they do need to. They did have Kiminali Rasaku, also Mothina Thangi was able to score 1, Nadovalo, Thanakai Vata, and also Josefa Talatholo. So 5 very dangerous individuals. I would expect at least 3 of those individuals to be in the starting lineup up against Samoa. They've also got Vakura Billy. Now, he did end up with a yellow card in that game up against Wales for a no-arms tackle. We'll have to make sure that that is sorted out by the time you go head-to-head with Samoa, as we know there are going to be big hits put in from both of these sides, and it's just a matter of who does it, I guess in a more legal manner, that does get that edge over the opposition. But either way, these guys are going to be sore after the 14 minutes, and then the semi-final and finals will both be less than 24 hours away, so not a lot of time for the body to recover, which is why they need to be strategic with the way that they play, who they're bringing on and off from the subs throughout the matchups, because the last thing either of these sides want is an injury this close to a World Cup final. They only have 2 matches to go after this one. You've got your semi and your final. All these sides need to do is get past an extremely tough opposition in this quarterfinal. Like I mentioned, it easily could have been a final between these 2 sides. They are both in great form. Fiji want to get themselves the gold. Samoa, in the last few legs of the World Sevens series, they have been finishing 4th or lower. They want to get themselves that podium finish, and it could be around the corner, but they do have to beat Fiji first, which is a monumental task. But looking through at key players for the 2 sides, I believe I've already mentioned every single player throughout the earlier stages of this video that I have got down as my key players to watch. So we will start with Samoa. Straight away, I am going Paul Scanlon, Malani Matavao, and Va'a Pilomaliko. Now, I didn't go with Steve Onisai, even though he did score a hat-trick in that first match. He didn't have as much of an impact in that game up against the USA, and I think Fiji will try and shut him down relatively early. The reason I have got Malani Matavao is because he has that experience and also will have a few tricks up his sleeves for how to defeat the Fijians, although it is definitely not an easy task. But Samoa, they've got those young players, which I feel is why Malani Matavao is so important. When you've got all these young guys who want to go out there, give it their 110%, you kind of still need someone to help make sure that they don't get too fired up and emotional in these situations, and I think Malani Matavao has got just that. Alongside him, Pelo Maleko, we saw him a little bit more prominently in the USA game. I think he's just starting to warm up into his strides. Could have a big one up against the Fijians. And then the last name, Paul Scanlon. He's been brilliant throughout 2022. Mr. Consistency, always giving Samoa something in that midfield and also in a breakdown. Can be a very handy tool to have for the Samoans. Now looking through at Fiji, if I had to pick 3 key players for the Flying Fijians straight away, Kiminelli Rasaku. I've mentioned him many times over. He has been fantastic, and he definitely is one of my players to watch out for. Alongside him, I am going Jerry Tawai. He got a couple very important turnovers in the game up against Wales. That man has got a huge amount of experience and always gives it his absolute all out on the field. He'll get in a breakdown, even if it means getting smashed by the opposition. He'll make a big tackle on a man who's a lot bigger than him, if it does mean that he can help Fiji towards a Sevens World Cup. And then the last name for the Fijians, there are plenty of options that I could have gone with, but I will go Josefa Talatholo. The big man out on the wing. He's got pace to burn. He's got the size to go with it. That makes him a very difficult moving target to try and take down. And I think he's getting over in this contest up against the Samoans. But now we are up to this stage of the score prediction. Samoa, they have played the extra game. Fiji, they did look all right up against Wales, but Samoa seem to be on another level at the moment. But the big problem is Samoa normally have a lot of form heading into a game up against Fiji and then don't quite deliver. Will this World Cup be another example of that, or do we see a Samoan side who are locked in, looking determined to try and take out the gold? I'm going to say Samoa win this one, and I will say Samoa win it by 5. Could be very close. The other side of things is Fiji could win it by 21, depending on which Samoan side shows up. But hopefully, it is going to be the side that do want to take out this Cape Town Sevens World Cup. And nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in to this preview. Do let me know your score predictions in the comments down below. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all for the next one.